So, this is the CZ75 SP01 Tactical. I've had this gun now for approaching 2 years. I've shot it quite a bit. And you can see it's the SP01 Tactical 9mm 9x19. Does have the Picatinny rail. Nice ergo controls on it. I mean, like, this is not my natural firing grip because I'm holding this thing sideways to the gun. Gotta run my arms back here, like that way. So, but I can still hit with my thumb. Nice. Decocker works great. Been an overall really good gun. Now, something that no one ever mentions about these, and I will say this to everybody, is the magazine floor plates on the CZs. This is the factory mag. I have not changed it. This is how it came out of the box. Okay, so it's held in by that little pin, right? So I have done this on every single CZ that I own. I have managed to knock a floor plate off. Does it mean the gun's bad? No, not at all. The guns are actually quite good. Fixes. So, running this in my area of operations, I have managed to roll over in that holster. So, which is one of the few drop blade type holsters that you can find without going custom made. It's made by Dasta, and I'll go over that a little bit later. That's gonna be the second part of the video, is gear for this gun. But I have rolled over in the dirt and managed to rip the floor plate off the gun, and have my magazine spring and the follower, which are tied together. I mean, you know, they're one piece. They're kind of two pieces but wired together. Come out along with all my ammo all over the desert floor. So, could those be better? Yes, that's my only complaint on the CZ line of guns at all, is the magazine floor plates could be held in just a little bit better. So, there's no flange that really gets a hold of that and holds that back into position there. It's just that little pin, which is fine. Makes magazine cleaning easy. I mean, if you clean your magazines very often, but I tend not to. So, anyway, but been a great gun. Go over some operations with you on it, as far as like how it works and all that kind of good stuff. It is a double action, single action gun. It is very heavy gun. Okay, so maybe as a primary duty weapon, target gun for sure. SWAT guy gun, absolutely. You know, we're talking 18+1, so 19 round capabilities out of the gun, straight out of the box. Yeah, great uses for all those things. If it's your primary weapon, or you're running targets or competition, that kind of stuff, this is really too large of a gun, I would think, for everyday carry as a general rule. So it's heavy, it's bulky, it does have great ergos, but those things make it not the best daily carry gun. And I wouldn't even consider it like a primary backup weapon. So if you're running a rifle, the CZSP01, the short frame one, the SP07, the CZP07 would be a great backup gun if you're carrying a rifle or a long gun, some form or fashion. I just don't think it's primarily a good backup weapon. It's just too damn heavy. So, I mean, it's something like 3 pounds when it's loaded. I mean, it's a chunk of steel. But ergos on it are great. You know, the trigger guard's cut up nice and high. It's all metal, of course. So, you know, I've got relatively large hands, and my hands fit nice and deep on that one right there. As far as like getting a two-handed grip on it, it's hard to do with my holding the phone in my hand here, but getting a second hand position on that gun is no issue at all. The hammer drop is high enough that you don't ride it. You know, when you're doing a two-handed grip, it would be really uncomfortable to do that. So if your fingers fit right nice underneath that, you know, there's nice places to put your trigger finger out of the way of the trigger guard. So it is decocker. So again, for you guys who don't know how to do double action, single action, decocker, double action without a safety goes. So again, this one's been, you guys just saw it, it was clear. But drop the hammer, okay? So if the hammer's, you know, first trigger pull, just to give you guys kind of an idea of what it looks like. And this is an awkward angle because my arm's bent, but you'll notice there's quite a bit of take up. That's even on the double action pull, okay, until you get to the double action. And then it's long, and then it hits a nice break. So this one right here, cock it. Sorry, again, one-handed. So, but then if we look at trigger pull on that one, okay, now if we let it go all the way forward, you hit a nice wall right there, so that's the wall. And then, yep, you'll see that little bit of creep. And then a real nice break. So it's almost like a two-stage trigger. It's not quite, but it's like a double wall there. It's really, you can really kind of feel it. Let's check reset on it. So hang on one second here. I'm going to rack the slide. So checking reset on it real quick here. So again, right there. And again, we're at that wall. And then there it is. It breaks. So triggers on these are really good. I would say as far as stock factory triggers, they are probably, the CZs are probably some of the best in the market. Are there better? Sure, absolutely. You know, 1911 triggers eat these things all day long. But then again, got 1911 problems. Round count on this gun. I would say I've probably got about 1,000 rounds through it. It's not like a super high round count gun for me, just because it's, again, it's really bulky to carry. The grips are nice though. The rubber texturing on these is great. Non-slip. I've had wet hands, cold hands. The grip on these is absolutely excellent. I mean, they just fit the hand really nicely. And again, I've got large size hands. I don't think somebody with like medium size hands would have a problem with this gun. If you have really small hands, this might be a little bit large of a frame for you, but most guns are going to be a little bit of an issue with you. You have to learn how to shoot around that. But again, been a really good gun. So far, I can't complain about it. You know, it's got the True Dot night sights that come on it, which are tritium. It's hard to see, but they do glow. You know, this rear sight does have enough of an edge on it where you can cock it off your belt, your boot, whatever you need to do. The front sight is tritium as well. If I was going to make this my daily carry or whatever the case may be, I would probably, honestly, with my 40-plus-year-old eyes, put some excess big dots on it, just to make it pick up just a little bit better for me. So, but nice sight radius. You know, again, they have texture at the top of the rail to reduce glare. I don't think that's a super big deal on a black gun, but maybe like on the stainless steel version it would be. But this has been just a really good gun. You can see that there has been some wear on the barrel. Now, these come in the black, and the black doesn't seem to hold up really good on this exposed part of the barrel. It does seem to wear off. It doesn't bother me, so I really don't care. Again, this has been carried in the desert. It's been rolled around in the dirt with. You can see the gun's finish has held up really, really well. I mean, there's really no wear marks on it at all. And again, this has been on several different adventures, you know, out in the desert and running around, that kind of stuff. So again, I just, you know, it's a really good gun, and it shoots really, really well. It's really heavy. So recoil between that and the small slide, and the internal rails and the bore axis being so low, it just shoots really nice. It's really heavy. So if you got somebody who's, you know, recoil shy a little bit, having them shoot this gun would not be a bad thing at all. Again, just because of the weight and the way the gun works, it's just very, very little recoil on it. people do complain about CZs and the midget slide, and they say that it's really hard to get a hold of. I kind of say bunk on that. I've had Glocks and some other stuff out there, but I mean, really, if you're looking at it from, going with a lefty's perspective here, there we go. When you get a hold of the slide, again, this is off my leg here, but so, I mean, you've really got a couple different places you're purchasing the gun. I mean, a metal sight, so you're up against a metal sight, but that's against my leg with no stability, and then, your tactical press checks, of course, can be done up here, which, again, if I had a camera stand, it would be easier to show, but, for you guys who like to do those, that's definitely doable with this gun. You can get different spring kits for it. I've got a different spring kit for it. I took it out. It drove me crazy, so it was really hard to get back out to clean the gun, so I went back with the factory spring. The factory spring on this does have a metal guide rod, by the way, so a little bit heavier duty than the P07 on the guide rod end. Magazine release, standard. Is it reachable? Yeah, it's really easy to get a hold of. Steel mags, they do drop free, nice and easy. Oh, and I never did tell you the secret on these two, and I haven't done it with this one yet, but just a little drop of super glue on each of the corners will keep that mag plate from popping loose at the worst possible moment in time. But I mean, again, is it a big problem if you're not rolling around on the ground? Probably not. But again, you don't want to do that. I haven't done that with this yet, but I will. And again, just don't go crazy. You don't need to freaking tack it down like you're trying to hold the Titanic in place, but just a drop here on each of the corners, I think will definitely be a good idea, and that'll keep the spring plate from popping loose. So anyway, again, I have not changed these at all. This is how they came with the gun. Here's the other one. Again, I would advise that if you're going to use it for any hard duty use. So, and that should still allow it to be able to be popped apart if you really needed to. So, anyway, that's all I've got on the CZSP01 Tactical. Again, I think this would be a good buy, but only if it's going to be a target gun, a competition gun, your primary duty weapon, those kind of things. Everyday use, and even as a backup gun, it's definitely a little heavy and a little bit awkward. So, shoots great. Nice beaver tail. I mean, just it feels great, but it's really heavy. So, anyway, next video will be about some of the holsters for it. Thanks.